We were discussing about relationships. When we have right understanding in relationship, we can ensure right feeling in oneself. Then we are able to recognize our relationship with the other person and think of fulfillment in that relationship. When we are trying to do actions for fulfillment relationship, we evaluate how far we are able to fulfill that relationship with honesty, with integrity. That helps us again recognize the gap in our action. Then it helps us to with that feeling to do the further action. So this is the axiom we were discussing about. Then there are 9 feelings in relationship. We discussed about trust in detail, which is a foundational feeling. Other feelings we'll discuss, but not in that detail. But request everyone to do the homework after the session what we get for the better clarity. But in this session, I request everyone to carry pen and paper. We do one exercise, which in turn you people will be doing with students. What I request is that you all should participate in that exercise. Do it fully with commitment, with surrenderance. Then that helps you to redesign, to make it, to make your students to do that exercise in much more deeper manner. So with that, let us explore further feelings in relationship. Respect, another feeling, samman. In Hindi, the word samman captures the essence of it. That samman is that samyak rupan se mapan karna, means ठीक ठीक आकलन करना. We say right evaluation. That so that when we interact with the our other person in our relationship, what we do is that we tend to over evaluate the other person or under evaluate the other person. But what is the axiom is that the right evaluation. You evaluate yourself in a right way, you evaluate the other person in right way, then that feeling of respect, the samman ka bhav naturally comes to us. But the disrespect, the apman ki bhav, which comes naturally when you over evaluate the other person or yourself or under evaluate yourself or the other person. I am not talking about expression of the respect, which is saying namaste, touching the feet, shake hand. It varies from person to person, place to place, and the time to time. I am not talking about expression. I am talking about feeling of respect. What kind of understanding helps us to have this feeling in us? I am talking about that. So just now we discussed that. What do you mean by over evaluation, under evaluation, or these things? Is that we generally we evaluate more than what it is and under evaluate more than what it is. We can see that in our relationships and with our own kids. If they have done, they scored some good marks or they done well, we say that you to Raja hai, no one can beat you. You are so and so, kind of over evaluation. So when they score less marks, when they do not good in the when they perform to compare to your expectations, when they don't perform, what we do? You are worth for nothing. You are that kind of fellow, this kind of fellow. We under evaluate. Sometimes we otherwise evaluate. We don't even consider the other human being as a human. The gada, that, this, we say many animal names and so and so. Na? So right now in our relationship that matters to us, are we doing this kind of evaluation? We need to clearly examine this. Am I behaving with that feeling of respect? The सम्मान का भाव से प्रस्तुत कर रहा हूं और am I अपमान की भाव से, which is nothing but over evaluation and under evaluation, sometimes otherwise evaluation. Let's see what is that. So one is that at the level of body, when you precondition that human being is body, then what we say, we differentiate the other person on the age wise. We also write in badon ko samman karna hai. We have written big words that respect elders. Should we respect elders or should we respect everyone? Please respond, everyone, in the message box. What is naturally acceptable to you? Respecting everyone or respecting only elders? Yes, it's clear that all needs to be respected. But are we respecting everyone? May not be. So the differentiating the people on the age wise. But if you see the reality, if someone who is elder to your age, if someone on the age wise, because you are younger to compare to them in the age, if they treat you otherwise, how you feel? We may not feel comfortable. But it's okay for us to deal the other person based on their age and differentiate and look down or treating some other way. Second, gender. You know, right now somehow it's we are coming out of it, but the clear differentiation, under evaluating certain genders and over evaluating other gender and treating the other person. The race. I'm saying sorry to this. This is the one of the saddest thing we really caught up this conditioning. Because someone born in some family and that guy becomes superior and he feels superior himself and inferior to other self, and someone feels otherwise. Differentiating based on that caste. One person is high, one person is less. And the physical strength and physical appearance. ये काला है, ये गोरा है, ये लंबा है, ये छोटा है, whatever that, मोटा है, that one, this one, and physical strength. All these things, this is becoming the basis. When we conditioned with, आदमी शरीर है, that we human being is only body, this kind of behavior it comes. Unfortunately, see this irony that I am seeing myself with this narrow identity. I am not able to look myself as a human. I am looking with my gender, my caste, my physical appearance, my age. Like how I am looking at myself narrowly, same way I am looking at the other person. Hence the disrespect, hence my behavior, hence differentiating the other person based on these things. Other differentiation, the wealth, post, especially as a educated people, as a person, are we seeing this preconditioning clearly? The post is what? Higher the post, is higher the responsibility or higher the irresponsibility? Is post is to get the respect or post is to fulfill certain responsibility? And wealth. If someone has the more wealth and that person is entitled to treat the other person as less wealth. What is the preconditioning here? That suvidha se sukh milega, or that from the power and exerting power one get happiness. No, that's not the reality. You yourself can see that. How many of you happy because you got certain post and you have some higher money, some asset? But when you over evaluate these things, then we keep on associating ourselves with that. As a result, we are not able to see the reality and behave properly. Again, our identity is limiting. Am I reduced to my post or am I a human being? Beliefs. And I believe one ism, so other person is believing another ism, so other person is less than me or I feel superior than that. Sampradaya. I follow some set of sampradaya and another person is following something, hence I feel inferior or superior and treating the other on basis of that. Suchana, that information, thanks to Google, now everyone has access to similar information. Almost in few years, whatever that information हम रटा हुआ है, हम memory में है, now everyone has that, and the other person may have better information than us. But believing that I know, because I know information, I feel superior and looking at the other person inferior. So if you see this, the misunderstanding here is that we reduced ourselves as a human to either our body or our material or with certain beliefs or some preconceived notions. And hence we entitled to look at ourselves either certain way and treat the other person certain way. That's what the proposal is. Differentiation is what disrespect is on basis of these things. Is it no one? Now, if other person treats us on the basis of these parameters, we never like it. But are we doing this in our relationships, either close relationships or the distant relationships? Yes, the way what you talk with your director or with your office assistant, the topic may be different, but what is the feeling towards the other person? Is that also is varying? How I am looking at myself? This is what we say Sukshma Pida. That when we see ourselves very narrowly, we are always suffering with ourselves because we under-evaluated ourselves with these parameters. We are not able to see ourselves as a human. Hence, appreciate the other person also as a human. On what basis we are saying? And since first day you people are discussing, what is our basic purpose of life? When we see that, we want to live happily. We want to be, live with prosperity and ensure its continuity. And ask what is the other person basic purpose? Isn't not the same? Hence, we can we clearly see that other is similar to me. Dusra aadmi mere jaisa hai. And if at all I want to be happy, what is the potential? You see that everyone, I also endowed with this potential. We say antasattva, that everyone has this ability to desire, think, expectation. But depending on the exposure you got, guidance you got, and how much you did sadhana, the repeated practice, you become someone, and another person is becoming someone. But potential wise, you can see that the similar way, every human being endowed with this potential, hence similar to me. And in reality, I also need to understand what does it mean to live in harmony in all the 4 levels. At the level of individual, at the level of society, family, and nature. Hence the other person. If you see this reality, we can clearly see that the other is similar to me. Dusra aadmi mere jaisa hai. Rather seeing this reality, we concluded, we have start seeing the other person with all these preconditionings. You see that all these things will vary. Isn't it? No one feel comfortable with it. Am I behaving like that? Or I'm able to clearly see that I am similar to other, hence we are complementary. वो पूरकता हम देख पा रहे हैं क्या? When we are able to operate with this clarity, we clearly see that we are I am complementary, other person is complementary. एक इंस्टीट्यूट चलाने में हर एक का काम is as important like your work. A sweeper, a cleaner, a cook, or a attender, lecturer, principal. So in NIT Warangal, when we are doing this in the induction program, one of the student argues that, sir, how can you say that is the same respect is same for everyone? And my director is different from my cook. Then that one of the faculties asked that student, okay, let's see that if your cook and your sweeper and your director went for vacation, a 10-day holiday, and your college is running, whose absence has a more impact on your life? That student was looking up and thinking, yes, definitely it's my cook and my sweeper, because if my hostel is not clean, if my classroom is not clean, I get affected by it. If I don't get food. Now, but we see this complementarity in our life. Somehow we over-evaluated something, under-evaluated. It doesn't mean that other thing is not required. Every action, every activity has its own importance. And as a person, am I treating with other person as a person or with all these beliefs? age, gender, race, post, and beliefs, and so on and so forth. Hence, the friction in relationship rather than that complementarity. So I request everyone to reflect with this feeling of respect. Is it with me every time when I'm interacting with the other? We clearly see that other intends for my happiness and other is like me. We naturally see the complementarity in our relationship. The purakata, what we clearly see that. You tell me, you just reflect. Can you do anything alone? Anything in life alone? No. My life is very much connected to the many people and many things. Am I recognizing that? This ego, what we call ego, over evaluating ourselves and hence under evaluating things. Are we caught up with that? We jailed by that ego somewhere. हम उससे बंधा हुआ है क्या? When we have this feeling of trust and respect, we clearly see that my understanding and other people understanding and my complementary nature with that, I interact with the other person with perseverance and with responsibility that other person, he may do the wrong action and we may react because जैसा वो आदमी समझा है वैसा करता है. I take responsibility to facilitate understanding in the other. That is the beginning of any development process, be it your office, be it a student, be it a family member. The feeling of respect is very, very important. So the sum up is that respect is right evaluation. When we have this feeling of respect, it means that I am able to evaluate the other person as a human. I am looking at myself as a human and look at the other person as a human. If I under-evaluate myself or over-evaluate myself with my all these parameters, same thing I do. If I look at my own caste, my own region, then other person I see that with the same lens. If I look at myself as a human, the true identity as a human I have, then naturally I look at the other person as a human. Hence the complementarity. So please reflect on everyone that in your interactions every day with whoever you are interacting, are you treating the other person as a human and a feeling of respect is there in that relationship, or are you over evaluating or under evaluating yourself and the other? You just check. So homework is that you just check that what basis I am treating the other person or myself. Is it based on the self or based on the body? What is naturally acceptable to you? To live in a complementary way or to differentiate, to manipulate, to accentuate the differentiation and so on and so forth. The important feeling is sneha bhav. The sneha bhav comes out of the clarity that I am related to the other. That accepting other is as one's relative. The feeling of being related to the other is what we say affection. When I see this there are two elements. One is acceptance. Second is able to see that I am related to the other. When we have this, naturally we see our commitment and our responsibility in our relationship. We say daitva and kartavya. But right now, are we seeing that that I'm related to other one? I'm accepting the other person as he is, or have I trapped on if and then trap? Let's see. Let us understand with this one example. So when you see a natural beauty, a scenery, a forest, a nice scenery, how you feel? Everyone type a message. When you look at a rainbow, or a natural some beauty, what kind of feeling it comes to you? How you feel? Yes, nice. Okay. Okay. Others? Awesome. Okay. Pleasant, happy, joy. Nice. You feel very happy. You feel joy. Okay. You feel very nice, isn't it? Now, let us ask yourself why you are not thinking this crooked branch is little long. We should cut that. The leaves are not that green. It should be little dark. This rainbow should be another 17 degrees little tilt towards right side. Then only it's nice. We are not doing that, na? Because we are seeing when natural phenomena, any natural reality, we are appreciating it as it is. We are not falling into if and then trap. If it is like that, then it is nice. Then only I will accept. No, our mind is naturally wired for the natural phenomena to see and appreciate as it is. But now come to our relationships. Somehow we got into this trap that if you do this, then only I will accept you. If you are like this one and this, then I feel good about you. No, that won't work with humans. Whenever you do this kind of method, the analysis in your head, you bound to be unhappy in that relationship. The if and then trap we call. Why we are not able to see other person as he is? Because we conditioned with ourselves. And if other person also demand the same thing, we never feel comfortable. We expect that we should accept by as we are. What do you mean by acceptance? Accepting the other person with as he is, with one's own shortcomings and background. Yes, I have my own issues. I also I need to improve my competence. And I am doing because it's because of my background. What kind of exposure I got in life, what kind of guidance I got, and what I repeatedly have been practicing, that becomes my competence. Are we seeing that the other person also similar way? That no, accepting the other person as it is. So any relationship, acceptance equal to positive feeling. When you never accept how things are as it is, that's the negative feeling. If you see that finger, however you pull that finger, however you complain about it, nag about it, it is like that. Are we appreciating that as a human? Things are like this. There is a very ancient quote is that accepting the things that I can change, that I cannot change, courage courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Are we able to see this reality? Yes, few things we can change in the people. We can help the people to change and do it. And few things it's there. It takes some time in the other people. Are we able to accept that? Like how you accept about yourself. So the acceptance is very, very important in the relationship. So the feeling of acceptance is very, very important. The sneh bhav, what we discuss, that feeling of being related to the other, the feeling of trust, respect, when they both have, naturally we feel other is I'm related to the other and other is like me. Hence, naturally, I see take the responsibility and commitment, especially in wife and husband relationship. This is very, very important, and any other relationship in that matter. Like if you see that, if at all you have a best friend, it's not that everything you accept in that you write in that best friend. You accept the best friend as he is. You see what is right in him, what is the good things. But when it comes to our close other relationships, are we doing the same? Or are we always nagging, complaining, and worrying about what they are not good at and ignoring what they are good at? So this is affection. So, and the respect and affection, if at all, is there any question I would like to take? Any questions? On feeling of respect, that right evaluation about oneself, about the other, and this affection, sneha bhav. It's a feeling of being related to the other person, accepting the other person as one's relative. Any questions I would like to take? Any disagreements, any doubts I would like to take? If no questions, I want to go ahead. Before we go to next topic. Okay. Any questions, sir, from anyone? Please type in the chat box. If I missed any questions also before, you can repost.
Shivaji, there are general appreciation only. There is no question.
Okay. Nice. Please reflect these things, sir. Am I in my relationships? Then we can easily think about what does it mean in the context of our students. So let me wait for 10 seconds. If any questions, please type in the chat box. Any doubts, clarifications, or any insights in 3 feelings we discussed till now. Meanwhile, please take your pen and paper before we do next feeling, gratitude, that we can do only with the doing it, sir. We can understand that feeling by doing it. So everyone, please stretch yourself, take pen and paper meanwhile. Others, any insight, anything, please share meanwhile. Okay, if not, then we'll start next. Is my PPT is visible, sir? Yogesh Bhaiya, is it visible?
Yes.
Thank you. I request everyone to take some pen and paper. Sir, if at all you are not paying attention fully till now, no problem. At least next 1 hour, if you completely surrender to it, I can promise that there will be a great insight. Believe me, it changed many people's life. I request everyone to give your best. You know it, these things, but somehow we really explore not fully. So this journey really helps that. I request everyone to participate fully. You just do it. Don't much analyze much. Just do it. Follow the instructions. Everyone take pen and paper or some notebook. So we do the exercise number 1. Please everyone do it. Don't intellectualize. Please don't listen passively. When you do it, the insight will be very different, sir. So because generally we tend to, sir, okay, let me listen. No, you have to do this exercise. If you do it, the insight you get, then you know that when you are doing with the students, then where to push, what to do. Otherwise, you cannot get that insight. So please, you do it. No, please don't listen passively. I request everyone to do it with a pen and paper. So you make a circle in the center of the paper. You write that knowledge skills that contributed who I am today. Just write that. Don't write what knowledge skills. Just write the knowledge skills that contributed to who I am today. So make sure that enough space around that your circle or that sphere. Okay. So you put that arrow marks. Write the name of the person. Don't write parents, teachers, neither. How many people directly helped you to gain the knowledge skills or the person who you are today? How many people contributed to you? Just write their names. You don't stop it. Push yourself. Write as many names as possible. Everyone in your life today, you are as a faculty, as a person who you are today. How many people contributed to you? You write their names. Everyone. Please write their names. I request everyone to do this exercise. How many people contributed to you to be the person who you are today? And to whatever the knowledge skills you have today, how many people contributed to you? Go back, remember from the childhood onwards, each year, each stage of your life, write their name. Push yourself, write as many as possible. If all the arrows are full, take the another new circle, no problem, but write as many people names as possible. Write the name of their person, try to remember. Recollect, try to recollect, push yourself. Few people might have contributed directly, few people might have contributed indirectly. Try to remember. Who are the people contributed to who you are today? And all the knowledge, skills, abilities you have today, how many people contributed to acquire those skills, to develop those skills? Directly, indirectly. Push yourself, sir. Make it exhaustive. Once you are done, try to remember what are the indirect contributions. How many people directly contributed? How many people indirectly contributed? Write their names also. Hope everyone is doing it. Please do it. Just believe that and do it. Once you're done, try to sit in the silence, close your eyes. And what it is saying? Whatever you have written, the list, whatever, what it is saying to you? Just type in the chat box what it is saying to you. Just type in the chat box what this list is saying to you. Please type in the chat box. Any insight is coming after writing this list? Sir, what is it saying to you? Please type in the chat box this list. Yes, many people contributed. Can you recognize that? That when we pay attention, we realize that many people are there to, in my life, many people are contributed, put the efforts for me to who I am today. A feeling of gratitude, it's a feeling. When this feeling comes, when we see that, when we realize the people who are contributing, who are putting the efforts for your survival, for your development and for your excellence. आपका श्रेष्ठता के लिए, आपका जो अभिवृद्धि के लिए, जो वृद्धि के लिए, आपका जो जीने के लिए, जो आप for your survival, how many people are putting efforts? Recognizing that, when we recognize and appreciate, this feeling will arise in us. So there, in the gratitude, there are 3 stages to experience this feeling. At the first stage, we need to recognize cognitively, intellectually, we need to recognize that how many people have been contributing in my life. Second, we need to appreciate emotionally, that how much they added value to your life, how much you've been benefited by them, benefited by their efforts. Then third element, which is very important, willingly acknowledged, expressing that gratitude towards them. If any step is missing, the feeling is not coming in us, or we are not able to express that feeling. Are we able to see this in our life, that there are many people are contributed to our life? Let's explore the second exercise. Please everyone, if at all anyone missed now, please everyone do it. It's really important and it really touches our life. Next part. Everyone please draw this table in your notebook. 3 columns, 3 rows, 4 rows, 3 columns. In the first row, please write all the things I have received from. In the second column, in the third column, write all the things I have contributed to. In the rows, you can write nature, society, family. Please draw this table, everyone, in your notebook. All the things I have received from, all the things I have contributed to at the level of nature, society, and family. Okay. Done? Hope everyone is drawing that. So let's start. I have just given certain placeholder things. Don't write that. Whatever you received, you write that. From nature, please write down in the table what all the things you have received from the nature. Please write. Please write as many things as possible. You try to remember. You need to do consciously this activity. You write all the things you have received from the nature, from Mother Earth, from the environment around you. What all the things you have received. Please try to write. Request everyone to give your best. Just keep on writing. Think about it and write. What all the things you have received from the nature. Push yourself. as many as you can. Try to remember and write. Okay, all the things you have received from the nature. Next, all the things you have received things from society. All the things you have received from the society. I just mentioned few things as a placeholder, but you write all the things you have received from the society. What all the things you have received? Okay. Next, family. What all the things you have received from your family? Your near and distant relationships. What all the things you have received from the family? You write. Hope everyone is writing it. Please try to write. Great insight will come. So what all the things you have received from the nature, your society and family. Push yourself. Try to remember what all the things you got from childhood onwards till today. Okay. Next, we come to next column. What all the things you have you have contributed to nature. Please don't write what I have written. Just as a placeholder I have written. What all the things you contributed to nature. Please write. What all the things you have contributed to the nature. What all the things you have contributed to society. What all the things you have contributed to society. And what all the things you have contributed to your family. You write what all the things you have contributed to your family. So once you're done on your paper, so hope everyone is doing on your pen and paper. Once you're done, Just close your eyes and just for a few seconds and open it and just look at the table. What it is saying to you? What is the feeling it is coming inside the heart? What is the any insight? Please type in the chat box. And just sit in a silence and just see that what it is saying to you. And whoever is done, please just share in the chat box what it is coming in your head. What it is saying to you. Is it saying something to you? Okay. Shwetambika ji is saying it's more receiving and almost very less is giving back. Okay. Whatever we have taken is more than what we have contributed to. Okay, I have received more and what to compare to what I contributed. Okay, got many things but returned only few in small proportion. Okay, feeling happy, Dr. Mallikarjun sir. Okay, are you able to appreciate that? Now, many things which I haven't really worked for that I got from nature, society, and family. And many things like at the physical facilities level, at the someone developed your clarity, someone developed that right feeling in you. When are you really appreciating that this many things I really got? Now the purpose of his activity is just to recognize that I am received, I bestowed with many gifts from all the places. It's not to compare that what I have given, but just to recognize that I have given many things and appreciate their value in my life. That appreciation is the second level. The first activity what we have done, you're recognizing, okay, this many people are contributed. If you see little more deeply and you're able to appreciate that how many things you really received and their value in life. Nice. Now let's do the third exercise. Everyone, please do it sincerely and believe me, it is something else. It's really valuable. Think of that one person in the list, whatever you that, who you really feel that person is, you must so much grateful to that person. Write down 4 to 5 lines. Why that person is important? Why that person you feel grateful towards him? Why? Write 4 to 5 lines, everyone. Request everyone to write that one person, select one person, write 4 to 5 lines. Why that person is important to you? Why you feel grateful that person? Why? Please try to write everyone 4 to 5 lines. Okay, others please. Once you're done, just close your eyes and just recognize what is the feeling it's coming in your heart. Try to write 3 to 4 lines. Why you are grateful to that person? What are the insight? What it's coming in your heart or in your head after doing this exercise? Others, please do it. Whoever you feel done. What feeling it is evoking you, this act, once you've done this, when you have written something while in the process? What kind of feeling it is coming in your heart? Now I'm asking just feeling. Don't type other things. Just what is the feeling it is coming? Yes, few people are in tears. Few people are, yes, it is touching my deeper self. Okay. Happy. I'm very happy. Yes. Others. Interesting, na? So if you see that the element, what you did is that you try to express, you try to articulate why they are, I feel that it's not a thank you. It is not that. It is why you are feeling grateful towards the other. What research says is that as an individual, it gives a tremendous feeling, that's very difficult to articulate in words, but is that the depth of positive feeling when you express your gratitude towards other. It strengthens our relationships, but very importantly, it energizes oneself when we express our gratitude. But unfortunately, if it is, however, it is so important, somehow culturally we have some inhibitions. We never, with our closest relationship, how frequent we are really expressing why part, not gratitude. Why you are feel grateful. So the expression in the gratitude is very important. This is what we need to work on. In recognizing it, appreciating it, and expressing it. All the three is very important in developing the feeling of gratitude. Sir, in the college, in the next generation, if at all one feeling can transform the way the generation is interacting and living, is this feeling, the feeling of gratitude. As a teacher-student relationship, the gratitude is very important to strengthen that relationship. Hence, our ability to invoke that feeling toward in the student is very important. So the thing is that before we go to others, let us ask ourselves, with a little honesty, with integrity, let us sincerely ask ourselves, are you feeling gratitude for all the contributions in your life who putting the effort? Are you? Just don't write any answer. Just ask yourself and answer to your heart. Second, am I appreciating the complete picture? The people who I'm associated with, who I'm connected with, yes, they have been done something. There is something that they have not been done. Okay, both the things are there. Am I appreciating and focusing on that, or am I focusing only what not has been done? Yes, there are certain good things people have done, there are certain things they haven't done. I'm appreciating the complete picture, or I'm focusing only what people have not done in my relationships. Third, where I'm putting my efforts to express the gratitude, or complaining that other people are not feeling grateful towards your thing, your efforts or towards you. Sir, this is with honesty we need to ask these questions, and we need to work on ourselves if at all we are in the lower part. These are our killers of our happiness. And this is what we are not able to appreciate. So to develop this feeling, we need to practice, consciously cultivate this feeling through 21-day gratitude challenges, through practicing end of the day, every day asking, how many people contributed to my life today, every day? How well we ask this question, that much that feeling will develop in us. Believe me, sir, what research is saying and what in my personal life, with that conviction, I am able to say that it transforms our relationships when we understand the feeling of gratitude and when we express. In relationship, feeling of gratitude is very, very important in the close relationships and the extended relationships. So let's discuss about other two feelings. Before that, hope everyone able to clearly reflect on these three questions. So in the activity sheet, what you got end of the day, there are 3 videos regarding the gratitude. Please everyone, I request everyone to go through that and reflect. What does it mean to you? What you want to do differently from today onwards in your life? The moment that aspect, that feeling I'm able to see in my life, then you all are very good teachers. You people have the experience. You people teach 100 times better than of any of the facilitator who you are interacting with. But let us see that reality in our life. Then we can think about what does it mean in teaching to student. So the other feelings, 2 important feelings, there's the feeling of mamata and vasalya, care and guidance. So the meaning is important. The feeling towards feeling of responsibility towards the body of my relative is that if you remember that human being is a coexistence of body and self, taking care of body of the relative. What does it mean? Taking responsibility and nurture and commitment for nurturing and protection of the body of my relative. Taking care of the body. Body has a definite needs. It requires nurturing. It requires protection. Whatever physical facilities is required here. In all the 9 feelings, sir, money is required for only one feeling, for this, to fulfill this feeling, the feeling of care. The feeling of guidance is a responsibility and commitment towards my relative. For what? For developing right understanding and right feeling. सही भाव, सही समझ मेरे संबंधी के अंदर ना जगाने के लिए, है ना, वो जगाने का responsibility, जिम्मेदारी का भाव. Right now, see that, sir, you just reflect in your own relationships with your kids, your wife and husband, whatever the role you are there with your parents. Are we really paying attention to both the need of the body and need of the self, or assuming that taking more of needs of the body, assuming that I am taking care of, I am loving the other person and I am taking care of them? Are we ensuring both the care and guidance? Or are we spending more time on the care only? You see what is happening in the parenting. If you ask the chocolate, we are bringing dabba. If they ask one, we are bringing multiple things. No doubt, it is important. Yes, it is important. But are we substituting our time and our commitment for the guidance with the material? Especially, sir, we can clearly see that the issue with the millennials with whom born in last 20 years, The issue is this: when the families becoming the nuclear families, when wife and husband started working, when people don't have time and understanding to nurture this right feeling and right understanding in the next generation. Everyone is busy with some of the other screen and some of the other things. The latest research of NIMHANS is showing is that most of this they did that in urban areas, the 80% of the addiction cases, when they did it on the who people addicted, they clearly see the correlation between the time spent by the parents with the children or the guidance they got from the academic institutions for them. Somehow this part is being neglected. Yes, they need physical facilities. Now in the we work also with IIIT Hyderabad, so we see that parents, there are 90 in 10th class 80%, plus 2 96%, 97%, JEE, IIT good rank, BTech first year, first semester fail, and parents come there, sir मैं इसको क्या नहीं किया sir. And there I listened to one of the professor conversation that the professor asked, what you have done, tell me. Because the thing is that by giving the money, by giving the facilities, we think that we are taking care of them and we are substituting the guidance also. No, the self has a different requirement. But how I can provide the guidance without I having it? So both are important, feeling of guidance and feeling of care and ability for that. But right now the care part also, we are assuming that we are taking care of it. No, you see that, do we have the clarity that what kind of food nurtures the body, what kind of food not nurtures the body? There are 3 stages in every person's life. The stage 1, that person cannot take care of himself. So the parents needs to take care of, the guardians, the adults needs to take care of him. Yes, the stage number 2, he can take care of himself. But are we helping him? Are we providing necessary guidance, necessary exposure so that he take care of himself? Stage number 3, is he able to take responsibility for himself, not only for himself, the people around him, the taking care of the other who he is related to. Unfortunately, now we are becoming qualified. Now that person, now see that most of this obesity, most of this body related issues, no clarity what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, and indulging body with the taste and falling sick. If that clarity is not there, a student needs to spend 12 hours paying attention to something. If body is not in the right condition, and how one can pay attention to things? Now whatever is outside coming is the symptoms, but what is the cause? It's very, very important, the care and guidance both. When it is not lacking, so especially teachers has the responsibility. We need to draw the attention of the people, the parents or guardians for that. Can we seeing that the importance of both? Hence the importance of the time, the conversations. These are not time waste things, sir. This, we said gappe marna, the gappe is very important in the human life, about the right things, not about the things related to one's life, not related to that hero, heroine, or that politician or that. If that conversation is not there, how one adult knows that, a teacher knows that the person, where that person is coming from, what his assumptions are, what he is doing it. Suddenly one day we see his action, is some negative result. But behind this much is happening. Both are important, the feeling of care and feeling of guidance. So the other important feeling is the reverence. Especially in our academic institution, for as a teacher, is very important for us to understand this feeling. Shraddha ka bhav. So the proposal is when you have acceptance of towards the excellence or people who excelled, then the feeling which gets in us is what Shraddha ka bhav, the feeling of reverence. Before that, we need to ask, what do you mean by excellence? Excellence is the understanding and living in harmony at all the levels is what the excellence mean. श्रेष्ठता का मतलब है ना, जो individual का level पे, family, society and nature at all the levels, understanding the harmony and living according that is what we call excellence, श्रेष्ठता. A person who lived like that life is what we call revered people, or that people who lived the life of excellence, those would the feeling towards them is we call reverence. If you see that as a person, as a teacher, as an individual, what is that our priority, where we are paying attention to excel, or there is another concept called Sreshtata Visishtata, to be special, where we are encouraging our next generation to excel or to be special. What do you mean by these words? Sreshtata, Visishtata. What these words mean? In a classroom of 30, how many people can get the first rank? Maybe 1 or 2. But how many people have the possibility to get 100 of 100, to understand the subjects in its entirety? All the people. A person who is aiming for first rank, can he help anyone? May not be. Always, because his rank is depend on that. But a person who is aiming for excellence, to understand the subject in its entirety, and what is this, what does it mean, what it means in action, in living. A person who is aiming for excellence, is he losing anything by sharing others, by helping others? No, he himself is getting more clarity, isn't it? The person who is striving excellence, what kind of environment around him? The person who is striving to be special, to comparatively, I want to become better than that. What kind of environment around me? The 3 Idiots movie, famous movie, is very much explains about these two concepts. Right now, what is that we are encouraging our students, our parents, what are we saying? To excel or to be special? Both are not equal. The competition, the competing with oneself, that becoming better than yesterday, becoming better in understanding the subject and living life accordingly, applying it in life, is what excellence mean. A person who is achieving the excellence, sir, another definition for teacher is that a person who is achieved the excellence or achieving the excellence called teachers. As a teacher, that's what I do. I am in my research, in my teaching, I am striving to be excellence, and I want to bring all the students to my level, if possible beyond my level. But if as a staff room, how our staff rooms are we complement to each other, each one striving for excellence, appreciating whoever is excelled, who are putting efforts to excel, or somewhere else? So the competition where we are pulling each one's legs, or that is coming from lack of clarity, lack of seeing what is the right thing in life. Srishtata ki prati svikruti is what Shraddha ki bhav. So it's very, very important, the feeling of respect, reverence, Shraddha ki bhav. So when the efforts, whoever is achieved that, whoever putting efforts towards the excellence, those people who what we inspired from, the concept of God is that someone who is excelled already, the reverence, the puja, what we say is that it is that taking inspiration from the revered people. so that I am also able to put that path. Either when is any scientist, we revere some scientist, we revere, for example, we say Sachin as a cricketing god. What does it mean? That someone excelled in that aspect of life. So now, are we really accepting that excellence in our field, whatever the research area, in our academics or in our life, in all the levels, as an individual, in the relationships, in the society, my contribution and my life with the nature? That where the inspiration, that's where the enabling environment. Naturally, I see my complementarity with other in that process of excellence. So feeling of reverence. So the last but not least, the very, very important feeling, love, the prem. Unfortunately, Bollywood and other our media, that we most abused word is that, the infatuation or that the attraction towards the body, we synonymously use as a love. No, here the proposal is very important, sir. The root meaning prem. Prem comes out of the purnata. In another word is there in our Indian language, ananyata. Anya means someone. Ananya means no one is someone. I am related to everyone. That's what we are saying. None. Feeling of being to anyone, opposition to everyone is the one state. Second, feeling of being related to one person or many people, what we call sneha bhav, affection. Feeling of being related to all is what love. I'm able to relate to every human being, every being and every unit in the nature. Ananyata, that able to see the relationship with everyone and everything. Thanks to Corona, Corona taught us this very well, that we are very much connected with the things and with the people, and that when we have that clarity, the feeling we get in ourselves is got called Purna Bhav, the love, complete value. At least one person, are we feeling this feeling that unconditionally, continuously, are we able to see that I am related to this person? That's what family provides. Family is the practice ground for us to feel these feelings, to practice these feelings. Our family is the God given, that whatever Almighty given, the test ground, free ground. If at all there is someone. Okay. Love is that the feeling of being related to all. It starts with identifying that one is related to the other person. And it slowly expands to that I am related to all the human beings and all everyone and every unit in the nature. That's what love means. The feeling of love is expressed in the form of kindness, beneficence, and compassion. Daya, Krupa, Karuna. This is what, when we have feeling of love, the expression in that relationship comes out with these feelings. The feeling of Daya, Krupa, Karuna. That what these words mean. Daya is that if individual do not have the material but has the competence, the providing material, we called Daya, kindness. People have the material but do not have the clarity, do not have the right feeling. Providing that right knowledge, right feeling, we call the graciousness or the beneficence, the krupa. The compassion, which we very much used, that the karuna is that whatever other person is lacking, giving that. At least in our closest relationships, am I compassionate? When other person is doing something wrong or something going out of the way, am I seeing that either person do not have the right understanding or right feeling and providing that? So the feeling of love, it is very, very important. So all these feelings, 9 feelings, we are very important in our relationships. The trust, what we discussed, assuring and the other person's intent, seeing that the issue with the competence of the other person. When we have feeling of trust, we naturally feel related to the other person. It's the foundational value. This is what we discussed in depth. Second, respect. The clarity is that right evaluation, seeing oneself as a human and able to see other person as a human. With that clarity, the feeling of respect, सम्मान का भाव हमारे अंदर जगता है. Hence, we naturally see that our responsibility towards the other person and to be complementary to the other person. Affection, acceptance of the other person as one's relative, accepting the other person as he is, and seeing other person as I'm related to the other person. Sneh bhav. Care, taking responsibility and commitment for nurturing the body of my relative. Whoever we feel related, that we take care of them, their body needs are nurturing and protection. Whatever is required, we provide that with that feeling. Mamata, mama means mine. Mamata is that when whoever we feel related, we get the feeling that as if you given to yourself. That's why we don't count when we feed our own people, when we give any material things. With that feeling, the flow will be there. When we lack that feeling, there the counting starts, there the resentment starts. The guidance is that taking the responsibility to self of the other, my relative. What is the self requirements? Sahi bhav, sahi samaj. The right feeling and right understanding. Taking a responsibility and commitment towards my relative is what Vatsalika bhav. It's a very beautiful word, sir. These are the Vatsa. Vatsa means student. That I recognize that my responsibility to guide the other person. And I commit. It's not that feeling responsibility alone. I commit to develop that in the other person. To commit to do, first I need to have that feeling. Can I show it something to others without me seeing that properly? देने के लिए होना चाहिए ना. So the reverence is that acceptance for excellence is what we call reverence, the Shraddha Bhav. The glory is that when someone is putting efforts for excellence and appreciating and accepting their efforts towards the excellence, appreciating them is called Gaurav. Especially when we have our colleagues, our friends, are we really appreciate their efforts towards the excellence? That can only happen when we are paying attention towards the excellence, when we appreciate what excellence means. And anyone, gratitude, we discussed in detail, that is the acceptance that how the people who are putting efforts for your development and your excellence and your survival. The Krutagnata Bhav. The Prem is that what we discussed just now, feeling of being related to all. That able to see my relationship with everyone and every unit. Ananyata. Koi aadmi anya nahi hai. Ananya. No one is the other. I am related to everyone. At least one person in life do I have that I may feel unconditionally, continuously I feel related to other. So that's what practicing love is what family is what that. And where our relationships are. That I'm able to live with Daya, Krupa, Karuna. Now, am I able to see my role is that. Sir, as a teacher, we need to understand this very, this fundamental notion of relationship. In relationship, there is two positions, Nyaya Pradhan, Nyaya Yachak. A person who able to do the justice, and a person who needs just action, who is a seeker of that, he cannot do that. So Nyaya Pradhan is someone who understands these feelings and who act with that feeling in relationship. So the Nyaya Achak, someone he doesn't have the clarity, he doesn't have the understanding. So hence someone needs to show that feeling. He cannot have that feeling himself. Now, as an adult, as a teacher, as a parent, whatever the role you are playing, where are you operating from? Having this feeling and acting with that, or complaining that other is not showing this feeling, is very, very important for us. So can we, if at all we see that the relationship is not between body and body, in the family, that only one institution, the family, we give, the society permitted the relationship between body and body to procrastinate, to produce the next generation. But the relationship is there are feelings in relationship between oneself and another self. We need to recognize this. So to conclude what we are discussing since day one, as a human being, the basic human aspiration is to be happy, to ensure a continuity. Where we are searching that happiness, are we searching from material? If we want to search the material, please continue, no problem at all. But knowing that you cannot ensure its continuity. If you want to get happiness from the material, first you get tasty and necessary, then tasty and unnecessary, and tasteless and unnecessary, and intolerable. These are the stages it follow. So faculty might have explained to you. With the material, that happiness, what you get is a pleasure, excitement, not the happiness which you want always. Second, feeling from the other person, that दूसरा आदमी मुझे सम्मान देना चाहिए, other need to take care of me, other need to show respect. No, that also will not be happen, because other person behavior is dependent on other person's understanding. You cannot ensure the continuity. But where this happens is that the source of happiness is my understanding and my feeling. How much I develop the clarity about myself and the relationships and the society, and that helps me to live in happiness. And with that feeling, I interact with the other person. That's why we say na, sukh paane ka cheez nahi hai, hone ka cheez hai. That's why we call being happiness, not getting happiness. How much you strive, put the efforts to get the happiness, that much we run away from that. Hence, importance of understanding in relationships and ensure the positive feeling in oneself. So these 9 feelings we discussed. Any questions regard this? I would like to take. Any comments, any reflections? I would like to take next few minutes before we go for session. So if any questions you already posted, can you please post it again? So I missed because many people posted it. Any questions, doubts, clarifications, or any insights out of this session, or any comments are welcome. Before we close the session, any questions, comments, doubts, any disagreements? So my name is Shiv Shankar. I work as a teacher educator. I'm a UHV resource person for AICT and UGC, and also I co-started with 3 organizations. So I work in the space of well-being. So last 10 years I've been in this space. Before I used to work in Indian Air Force. Before that I used to work as a teacher. This small introduction about me. So before we close this session, I request any questions, doubts, clarifications I would like to take. Anyone? You can type in the chat box. Any insights? Even in the last 3 hours you've been listening. Any insights or any reflections? Manisha ji is asking what is the difference feeling and behavior. So behavior at the level of action you do, madam. Feeling is that at the level of self, what you experience, what you get, that feeling. So with the feeling you act. If that positive feeling, the behavior, you respond to the things. What do we mean by respond? It is constructive for yourself and for the other in that behavior. When that feeling is negative, you react. That is not constructive for yourself, for the other in that situation. There is a residue in that reaction. After that action, it is not comfortable to you inside. So that's the difference, madam. So do you find any feeling apart from these 9 in future because of the internet revolution? So however internet revolution is happened, the human feelings are definite, sir. So there are certain feelings at the level of self, you know. We say happiness we call, but in Hindi we say Sukh, Shanti, Santosh, Anand. There are certain feelings at the level of self. In Daya, Krupa, Karuna, these are the things that are there. Dhirata, Virata, Udarata. There are few things are there. In the relationship, in the context of between people, there are certain feelings are there in between human beings. When it comes to nature with the material, we say there are 2 values or 2 feelings: utility value and the artistic value. So there are different things are there, but we in this content we discuss this much in the UHV. So perception of seeing others have changed. Okay, thank you. Any questions, doubts before we close? Yes, thank you for your feedback. Any doubts, questions, clarifications on the concepts we discussed?
Okay, Sivaji, I think there are no more questions.
Okay, thank you, sir. Before I close, I request, sir, UHV content is before we teach to students. I request everyone, first let us put our life in the center, then we receive so much. With this clarity, because you have experience, you know your students, your context, the way you teach is very different. So I request you apply it, then there you think about what does it mean my teaching.